Zach Ginn here, coming at you live. And in today's video, I am going to just give you a how to get started guide into real estate wholesaling. So hopefully you're watching this video and you are brand new in this business. This is who I want to talk to today. I want to talk to everyone who's brand new in wholesaling real estate. And the topic of today's video, where I'm really going to drop as much knowledge as I possibly can on the subject, is how to get started wholesaling real estate. So if you want to learn how to get started in wholesaling real estate, let's get into it. Remember, if you're watching this, this might not be the shortest getting started wholesaling video, but remember, I'm giving you the real value. Like, I'm not going to give you like some free info and say, go buy the course and that's how you get started. No, I'm just going to break down everything for free. Literally everything I have in my head here, 7-figure wholesaling per year in net profits, I want to give to you. So I really want to disseminate my thoughts on how to get started in real estate wholesaling, brand new from scratch right now. So this is pretty cool. This is a good refresher for everyone who's brand new into real estate wholesaling. And really what I want to do is bring as much value and content as possible. So before I get into it, remember, please smash that like button and subscribe. You guys can tell this is live. And let's get into it, guys. So getting started in real estate wholesaling. So most likely your crazy uncle, brother, friend, sister, mom sent you this video because they're nuts. They're telling you this real estate wholesaling thing's cool. You can get rich quick. And, you're trying to know how to get in this business. And maybe you don't know where to get started. So this is what the video is for. So let's break it down really quick, because I'm going to give it to you straight. Like there's no pretending on here. Real estate wholesaling. So first of all, you heard you get rich quick. So here's the truth. Real estate wholesaling is one of the few industries in America, in the United States of America. You could be outside the United Kingdom or something doing this and wholesaling virtually, over the computer, you still do well. But if you live in the United States of America, the fastest, easiest, best way to make $1 million in less than 2 years, to become a millionaire, is through real estate, specifically a niche of real estate called wholesaling real estate. Basically, that's the process. That's what I do. So let's talk about, so what is wholesaling real estate? Again, the easiest way for me to explain wholesaling real estate is I explain it a lot. I mean, that's what I do on this channel. I do a video a day here. It's basically the process of finding someone who wants to sell a property and then finding someone who wants to buy a property and just being the middleman or middlewoman in that transaction. That's the easiest way I can do it. You could get so advanced with this wholesaling real estate techniques, but at the end of the day, you are selling contracts to people who are looking to buy them. Now, depending on how much money you're going to make is how cheap of a contract you got. So if the contract's worth a lot of money and you got it under contract for a very low price, you'll do very well. So what I want to do is really break down the process a little better. I'm not the best at explaining the entire intricacies and the legal process of it. But I know I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a realtor, any of that. And I do $1 million per year in net profits in my real estate wholesaling business. Of course, I have partners, but I got to pay taxes. But in net profits at the end of the day, it's 7 figures in profit. So I give exactly on this channel what I do in this business. So let's talk about it. So really quickly, before I break down the entire process for you guys, remember, if you're brand new into it, I'm just going to tell you right now, like, quit this video in the next 2 minutes if you don't like what I'm saying. So let's talk about the pros of wholesaling real estate really quick. Real estate wholesaling gives you time freedom. It gives you time. If you want to do very well in this business, you could honestly work 20, 30 hours a week and easily make $500K a year. I know people that do it all the time. I know people that work 5 hours a week and make $100,000 per year, and they do real estate wholesaling. They have no money out of their pocket. This is one of the few businesses in the United States where you can do it. It is the great equalizer, I think, in business is wholesaling real estate. In real estate, it's the biggest equalizer, but this is the only business you can do it. I'm going to show you exactly in this video how to do it, but you get time. You can work as much. I know people working 80 hours a week in real estate wholesaling that make $200K a year. It's really how you delegate the business, how you set up the systems, and exactly how hard you want to work and how much money you put into the business. It really depends. So for the average wholesaler, I will tell you that makes it, quote unquote, makes it, gets their first couple deals and sort of figures it out, masters the craft. At minimum, they'll make $100K a year and work 30 hours a week. That I would say that's the average. So just being honest, the average is about 100 to 200K a year. And that's working that 20 to 30 hours, and people probably have a full-time job after that. So, and then the most people, let's say the upper echelon, top 10%, which is easily attainable through hard work. That's the only thing out there. So if you, let's say you play Call of Duty and you want to get like a 1.5 or 2 KD kill to death ratio in Call of Duty. Let's call it Black Ops or whatever video games out there. I think Modern Warfare, I think they came with a new one, but we're not going to get too much into that. But let's say you want to get a 1.5 KD. It's very, just keep playing Call of Duty and you're going to get that KD. Like, it's not that difficult. You just got to keep doing it. Same thing with wholesaling. It's not like it's impossible. It's not like, the top 10% of people are going to be like 6'4" and taller. It's not like you have to be 6. Like, it's a skill you can have. It's like learning a language. So if you spend enough time doing wholesaling, you can easily make the $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 per year net profits. And you can be in the upper echelon where I am, where you're at 7 figures per year in net profits. It's possible. The question is how much action you're going to put in the business. So there's a lot of freedom. I can do exactly what I want. I work 5 hours a week in my business and we do 7 figures net because I delegated and had the systems in place to do it. It took me over 4 years to get to this spot. So now you're thinking like, you're not going to get to my level in a year. I would want nothing more than you to get at my level that I'm at in a year. It's not going to happen. There's systems in place. You're going to have to learn the skills. That's what it takes. You're not going to start in the NBA after only playing basketball for a year or two. You got to get your way up there. So that's the first thing I tell you. There is going to be time, huge time pros. The freedom's unbelievable. I can do exactly what I want. I can take as much time as I want off this business and I'm still good. I can go travel wherever I want and still do this business. I truly love it. It's one of my biggest passions in my life. Next year's the money. I mean, the money is insane. It's insane. The possibilities in real estate wholesaling is almost endless. Now, you're probably not going to become a billionaire real estate wholesaling. You make a hedge fund, do that fund real estate, Stephen Ross type stuff by the Dolphins. But there's a lot of money to be made, especially for the average person. It is a total game changer. And the next one here is it's scalable. You can easily scale this thing up from 10K a month to 100K to $1 million a month. I know people in all these ranges. Just depends how much you want to work and really type of business you want to run with real estate wholesaling. Last one is my favorite. There's no money you need at all for this business. That's the coolest part. It's the real rags to riches story when it comes to real estate wholesaling is you need no money at all. Absolutely amazing. So let's break down the cons. This is the cons I want to break down because if you're not comfortable with any of these cons, you should just exit out of this video. Don't watch the rest of it. Do something else. I mean that if you don't like this stuff, you just get a regular job. There's nothing wrong about working a regular job. I got regular employees. They get the W-2. They love it. They love their benefits, the vacation. Go take it. It's a lot safer than this route. That's the one thing I can tell you right now. Real estate wholesaling is not safe. It is not the safe option to do. Become a realtor or an entrepreneur or running a business or creating your own little side business. It is not safe. It is safer to take a job and work the 40 hours per week and take your vacations and your weekends. That is what I'm telling you. If that is the most comforting for you, do it. If you're not comfortable working a job, if it's more discomforting for you to literally work for someone else and make a set amount of money for the rest of your life and not live the life of your dreams, if that's more discomforting than working a job, then you get into wholesaling. The biggest cons in wholesaling real estate, it takes consistent action. If you're someone who is generally lazy and you don't like setting goals, or you'll never hit a deadline, or you quit a lot of things and you think you'll quit this, or you think, if this doesn't work in 2 months, I'm not going to do it. No, business is not for you. This business is for people who absolutely make the goal that I will get a deal within 4 months, 6 months. I'll get a deal within 30 days. I will do whatever it takes to get that deal and learn this business. Those are the people that's going to do well. I don't want people on here that are just going to do for 2 months and then quit. I don't want any of you guys watching this. I will take 5 subscribers if those 5 people are only people who are action takers that spend as much time as possible learning the craft and want to actually become better wholesalers. I will give away all my subscribers. I don't want them. Only the people that want to work hard in this business. Next here, it's pretty easy. Most gurus are going to tell you this. You need hard work. That's the truth. A lot of hard work in this business. Hard work is a very weird definition here for real estate wholesaling. The honest way I could explain it is you just got to put the hours in to master the craft. It takes about 10,000 hours, in my personal opinion. If you want to get good at this business, this is what it's going to take. There's no course you could take that's going to change everything on here, but this is the absolute truth. I will debate anyone in wholesaling about this. It takes about 10,000 hours. Once you put 10,000 hours into real estate wholesaling, talking to sellers, learning marketing, learning dispositions, doing deal after deal after deal, doing cold call after cold call, keep driving for dollars. It takes about 10,000 hours. That is what I've seen talking to sellers for you to become an expert or, a master of the craft here in real estate wholesaling. That is what I've seen. And once you hit that 10,000 hours, that is it. I get asked this, Mark, Zach, how long do I take until I can make 6 figures a year? I can quit a job. It takes about 10,000 hours. Do you want to put 10,000 hours? I know people who have 10,000 hours in CSGO, the video game, Counter-Strike Global something, play Counter-Strike online. They have 10,000 hours in that video game. 10,000 hours over like 4 or 5 years. I know people that have 10,000 hours watching TV shows. They've watched all of the Netflix documentaries. They've done it all. They put 10,000 hours, listening to music. They put easily put 10,000 hours in the gym working out. Guys, if you dedicate 10,000 hours to this business, learning how to talk to motivated sellers and watching videos like this and actually learning and getting better and actually practically going in front of sellers, going on appointments, it's almost impossible not to make $100,000 per year in real estate wholesaling if you put that 10,000 hours in. Once you put that 10,000 hours in, that's it, guys. It is those skills will set for you forever. Let's say wholesaling doesn't work, you get a regular sales job. That 10,000 hours you put into wholesaling and talking to sellers, you'll get any sales job, make 100K also. So it's better than any education you're going to put in for any schooling. Might get in trouble for that, but that's the truth. Putting 10,000 hours in this business is your key to success here. Obviously, I made $100,000 while having maybe 500 to 1,000 hours, like not even that much. Like I got my first real estate wholesaling deal within a month, and I made $100,000 before I graduated high school. So I'm 21 years old now. I did this all when I was 17, starting out. So I know exactly what it is starting out. So that's what I can tell you. Again, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Zach Ginn. I started real estate wholesaling at 17. Got my first deal, made about 20K at 17 my first month, and then eventually scaled up to 100K a year. I did the whole college virtual wholesaling thing, and then came back here and partnered up with Rick Ginn, my dad, and together we actually run a 7-figure wholesaling operation. So did wholesaling by myself, partnered up with Rick after, but I know exactly what it takes to get good at this business by yourself. I did all bandit signs, but we're not going to get into a rant about that. So overall, it takes 10,000 hours. That's it. So let's explain the process. If you watch this, you're comfortable with what I just said here. You're absolutely comfortable with it. Let's break down the whole wholesaling process. Let me try to explain it to you the best way possible. Again, I'll say this a million times. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal counsel for you. I'm not a realtor licensed. I'm not, none of this stuff. I'm 21 years old. That's basically what I got to my name. I got my businesses. I got the assets. That's what I care. I'm not here to brag about my lifestyle to you. I just want to give you the most valuable thing I could possibly give to you. Information. That is what I want to give to you. Most people charge you thousands of dollars for this information. I don't have the Rolex, Gucci, anything on me. I like fishing. I love sports, and I love real estate. That's who I am. So the one thing I want to tell you before I break down the process here is, if you're watching this on YouTube, 95%, you probably got an ad from a wholesaling guru. And that's the cost of watching this channel. I don't want to put ads on my YouTube channel, but YouTube, basically, the way they work is you have 10,000 subscribers or you have over 1,000, I think. They will show ads and not pay you. So I just put the ads on. So they pay me on there, and then I'll pay for the editor. But there's going to be ads on everyone over 1,000 subscribers, unfortunately, or your watch time's like really high. So there's going to be gurus on here telling you, oh, I'm going to teach you wholesaling for free. Here, put your email in. Then they're going to put you in a funnel, in a sales funnel. They're going to be pushing down your throats to buy a $5,000 or $11,000. I've usually about $11,000, but it's $1,000 down and 10 months of $1,000 payments. They'll pull your credit. They'll try to ruin your life. It'll be $5,000 to $11,000, whatever the cost is for a mentorship for wholesaling real estate. the one thing I can tell you, if you're going to watch this video, do me a favor. Do not buy any coaching or mentorship at all. If you're getting started in wholesaling real estate, do not buy a course. Don't buy any of that stuff. They're basically scams. They're scamming you out of you putting actual money in your own marketing that you can actually use. It's not worth it. It is never worth it. I'm telling you, a lot of these guys I know behind the curtains. I know some of these people are sometimes even in my wholesaling market or my virtual market. They don't do any deals. They're on YouTube. They talk about their business and they don't do any deals. They don't show HUDs. I show HUDs. I'm not trying to sell you anything. That's the way I could tell you this is I give you the truth. So I'm telling you, these people, don't buy it from them. They don't do wholesaling deals. I know people who are bright that I make $300 and whatever $1,000 per month in real estate wholesaling profits. I haven't seen one check to prove that. I haven't seen one check from someone saying that. I haven't seen $3 million in checks for a year. These people are lying to you guys. Don't buy it. So that's my rant. I appreciate that. So let's break down the process. If you agree not to buy a wholesaling course. So the process. And also if people say, well, they do free coaching and they do Zooms. I do free Zooms too. I literally do free Zooms. Go to Wholesaling Houses Free on Facebook. Free Zooms. You can go join whenever you want. And every Thursday, I'll do a one-on-one coaching call for free with you. Seriously, I do that. I'm not trying to make money. I'm so in debt to the wholesaling process that it changed my life that I want to help you guys out. So number one here, the process. What is the wholesaling real estate process? So a couple of things I want to explain to you really quick. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. Again, there's so many videos on this YouTube channel where I go in depth, like serious detail about all this stuff. Again, you can't learn wholesaling in an hour, but this is the best crash course getting started. I want to explain to you because I'm guessing your crazy uncle sent you this video. So, or aunt, but the whole wholesaling process. So let's break this down. What is a motivated seller? So a motivated seller, these are the people we're spending a lot of our time trying to reach. So a motivated seller, again, I'm telling you, we're finding sellers and we're finding buyers and we're contracting in the middle and selling that contract. That's wholesaling real estate. You don't need a lawyer. You need to be over 18 years old though to do it. But if you're 17, like I started out, just get a parent or legal guardian to help you out with that. They'll help you out a lot in that process too. But let's break it down. So a motivated seller is someone who's looking to sell their property, shocker, due to a motivation. So either the property has really tall grass, the windows are shattered, needs a ton of repairs, they lost their job, they're trying to move out of state. So many reasons that someone is looking to sell their property, and it is a distressed property, the situation's distressed. It's someone actually looking to sell their property. This is where we actually get into the process of finding a motivated seller. It's called marketing. It's how we actually find and get in contact with people potentially looking to sell their property off market. So there's two ways real estate gets sold: on market or off market. Most real estate sales are done on market on the MLS with a realtor. All these processes, that's how it gets done. We're looking for the 1% of sellers in real estate. Again, if you're a realtor saying, "Oh, this is a scam, you don't work," we're looking for the 1% of people who don't want to deal with a realtor. You can look at it. I see people explain this a couple ways. Maybe this might help you if I explain it this way. We're either let's say the pawn shop of real estate, which means, of course, you could sell your gold finger, like your gold ring finger, for $10,000 or let's say about $10,000 or $1,000. Let's say you could sell this ring for $1,000. Okay, for $1,000, I could sell it. I can go meet with 10 people. We can go negotiate. I'll pay $100 for an appraiser for the ring. And at the end of the day, I'll probably get $900. That's cool. That's selling for the most amount of money. I probably have to spend 5 to 10 hours trying to sell this ring. Okay. Meet shady people behind a Starbucks at 9 o'clock at night or something like that. Or you could go to a pawn shop and sell it for $650 to $700. Obviously, you're not getting the $900, but what you're getting is a quick cash sale. It's extremely simple. You don't have to put the hours in trying to sell the property. There's no stress. There's no hassle. You just don't have to deal with it at all. That's why you go to a pawn shop. It's quick, cash, convenient. People are out there willing to sell their gold rings for a discount for the ease and convenience of a cash sale. That's what the United States of America is all about. Quick, easy, convenient, right? So that's the process of it. And this might be a shocker to you. People do that with cars. And you might say, Zach, no one will do this with real estate. No one will give a discount on a property worth that much. Well, people go to used car dealerships of a $30,000 car and sell it at a discount at a used car dealership because it's quick and convenient. They'll do that for a $30,000 house, a $30,000 car. They'll do it for a $100,000 house. So that is where we come in real estate. For $100,000 to $200,000 houses, that's kind of my sweet spot with real estate wholesaling. People do $300,000 to $400,000. It's a lot harder to do. If you're under $250,000, you can easily wholesale a bunch of properties. Most of my deals are under $150,000. Most people around the country, let's say in Ohio, Pennsylvania, you're about $100K or below on the values of these houses. And you're trying to find sellers who, like the pawn shop people, will sell it for a discount for the ease and convenience of a cash sale. That is what we're doing here in real estate wholesaling. So overall, that is what a motivated seller is. There's a ton of ways to find them. We'll break down at the end of this video a little more how to find these people, but that is who a motivated seller is. We're going to do whatever we can. We'll either drive around the neighborhood and find properties that are all beat up. We'll call certain lists of people that potentially could be a motivated seller. Remember, motivated seller is someone who would sell that property for a discount due to any reason or condition on the property. We'll look. Once we find this person, we'll call them, we'll talk. There's plenty of ways to explain how to talk to them. But overall, these motivated sellers, what we want to do is meet them in person and actually sign a contract, also an agreement for you to buy the property for all cash. So you might be saying really quick, like, whoa, Zach. Okay. You had me in the first half. Okay. I understand the process. I don't have $150,000 to buy this house. How am I going to do this? Zach, you said there's going to be no money involved in this process. So I know you're saying that. You're screaming at the top of your lungs in this video. So let me try to explain this a little more. I wish I had 5 hours to explain this video, but the process with this is what we're going to do is we're just going to agree to it. Again, there's clauses in the contract which we can actually get out of the agreement due to anything. All I have to say is I don't like the color of the paint and I get out of the contract. It's 100% legal. In all 50 states, you can do this. In a couple of states, you need to have a realtor license. That's in Illinois and Oklahoma. Outside of that, you're good, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, or you can do this over the computer. We'll explain that a little later too. But you can basically get out of the agreement. So you're not legally obligated in the contract. You're legally obligated to buy it unless you get out of it in the inspection period. We'll write usually 30 to 45 days. I'm not going to get too complicated on there. There's so many videos I can explain to you guys. If you have any questions on anything I say, please comment that below in the comments, and I will link to you a video where I explain it in more depth. So you might say, Zach, I don't understand what you mean by contract here. If you want an in-depth, like 2-hour video on contracts, which I do have, what I want you to do is you're either watching this from 1 or 2 YouTube channels. I have 2 YouTube channels because I do a video day on each one because that's how much like content I want to give to you guys. I do 2 videos a day on one channel, but the algorithm doesn't let me. It doesn't show the second video well at all. So I just made 2 YouTube channels because I love giving out like free wholesaling information. It's kind of a problem. The Zach Ginn channel and the Flip with Rick channel. So search any of that. So search contract space Zach Ginn or contract space Flip with Rick on YouTube. And then there will be my video on contracts. I'll explain the whole thing. I give my free contracts out, all that stuff. So that's the contract. We have an agreement. Let's say we agree to buy the property for $100,000. Now, there's ways for it's called ARV, after repair value. We can actually calculate our offer. If you search offer space Flip with Rick, my actual offer video will pop up, shockingly. But we'll actually get a contract. We'll figure out, hey, the property here is worth about $120,000. I think someone will buy this property for $120,000 to me for cash. What I would do is I would write a contract with the seller, negotiate, and agree, let's say for $100,000, I'll buy the property. And we agree I'll buy this thing in 45 days. It'll be easy, convenient, and really simple. So what I want to do is find who we call someone who's going to buy the property cash, a cash buyer. We're going to find them and try to sell that contract for more than we have it under contract for. So hopefully I didn't lose you here. I have a contract for $100,000 on the property. I want to find someone who will buy it for $120,000. Once I find someone who wants to buy it for $120,000, I will assign or sell that contract for a profit. So in essence, at the closing, at the end of the transaction, I'll explain this all, I would be making $20,000. $120,000 the cash buyer price, what they're going to buy the contract for. They're buying the $100,000 contract for $120,000. I would get a check for $20,000 at the end of it. Pretty cool, right? So how do I find a cash buyer? You find cash buyer. There's so many ways to do it. Facebook's my favorite way. I'll explain it all, but it's really, really simple and easy. I love it. Assigning it and selling it assigning or selling the contract for a profit. Basically, it's called an assignment of contract. We're basically selling the contract, and we agree to get $20,000 in exchange for that. Boom, we repeat. Simple as that. That is the whole wholesaling real estate process, and that's what I do basically on a daily basis. A lot more complicated than that, I swear, but that is the process that I have in wholesaling real estate that I do. So some things I kind of want to explain, maybe make a little more sense here for wholesaling is one real estate wholesaling deal. I've made $1,000 on a wholesale assignment fee, and I made $100,000 on a real estate wholesaling assignment fee. It really depends on, how good of a negotiation you have on the deal. Some deals are only going to make $5,000 to $10,000 on. Some deals you're going to make $100,000 on. There's rhyme and reasons. Usually the best way I can explain it is the bigger the motivation on the property, the more money you're going to make. That's what I found out in real estate wholesaling. So in wholesaling real estate, there's about 3 skills you must master. You should spend those 10,000 hours doing. And once you master that, game over. Like, you can do very well in this real estate wholesaling process. So number 1 is marketing. Marketing is how you're going to go find motivated sellers, find these people who want to sell for a discount. Number 2 is acquisitions. Once you meet the seller, how good are you talking to them? And really your negotiation process and how good of a connection you can build with that seller so you can get a property for the lowest price possible. And lastly is dispositions or cash buyers. Basically how well you're going to sell that property and how big of a profit you're going to make selling it and the quality of person buying it for the most money possible. So this is all wrapping into the one singular question we have is, how do I get started in wholesaling real estate? I thank you for listening to the first part of the rant here about wholesaling real estate. Now we're in the nitty gritty of how to actually get started in this process. The number one thing I can tell you right now, I'm just going to give you an action plan. There's a million ways to find motivated sellers. They're all on this YouTube channel. But if you want like an action step guide right now, if you're watching this and you're lost, do this. Drive for dollars. That's it. What is driving for dollars? Driving for dollars is you taking the keys to your car, taking the key, putting it in the ignition or whatever Tesla push button start you got. Drive around certain neighborhoods in your market. I'm going to tell you exactly where to drive to here. Drive around properties and look for tall grass, boarded up windows, just rough condition. The roof looks bad. Properties that just look distressed or, they need a bunch of repairs. I don't know. There's so many ways for you to find a distressed property. It's hard to explain it because when you see it, you kind of know hey, this property needs some work. It looks abandoned. Properties that look vacant. If you're in Florida, maybe the shutters are up. There could be cracks on the wood sheath. Maybe the stucco has cracks on it. The sidewalk, the swale has cracks. There's so many ways to do it, but that's how I would drive and find it. The neighborhoods you want to look for are properties that are under $300,000 in price. That's what I would say right now. And look for properties that are in rental neighborhoods. What I mean by that is it's easier to deal with a landlord than a person who actually owns the property because landlords are usually more sick of owning, just dealing with tenants. So that's what I would deal with right there is rental neighborhoods. What we want to do next here is we want to cold call that list. What I mean here by cold calling that list is I want you to actually call those distressed properties you found and actually have a conversation with them and seeing if they want to sell the property. Now I'm going to give you the script here, really quick. I'm not leaving you out to dry here, but I'll give you the script. But what we want to do is cold call that list. That's the best way I could do it to explain it. So how are you going to cold call that list? Obviously, when you're driving for dollars, I would probably write the properties down on a pen or paper or a sheet of just a sheet of paper. Maybe use your phone or something. You do a voice memo of it. There's apps. There's listrei.com. There's Deal Machine. Those are kind of pricey. They're over $100 a month. That's a little more advanced in the wholesaling process, or even more money for it. That's probably what I would do. But for cold calling, I would cold call that list. That's probably what I recommend. So what we got to do is find the person's phone number. Let's say 123 Main Street. The grass is super tall and it looks really distressed. Now I want to cold call. If I want to cold call, how do I find their phone number? Skip tracing them. Skip tracing is a detective term to figure out someone's whereabouts. So legally, we can actually find in the United States of America. It's kind of shocking. This might be a surprise to you. It's very easy to find people's like personal information. I'm not this data privacy like advocate person, but it's kind of shocking how much data is out there that's being mined from you. We can use that to our advantage here in real estate. So what we're going to do is find these people's phone numbers. We're going to figure out exactly who to call, when to call, and all this fun stuff. So I recommend a website called truepeoplesearch.com. Let me write that down for you guys so you can see it. All right. truepeoplesearch.com. If you go to truepeoplesearch.com, that is the easiest way to find someone's phone number. Really simple. The cool part is I've already tried myself. You ain't going to find my phone number on here. But for most people, you can figure it out pretty quick. There's paid services to do. I use smszach.com, smszach.com for my paid skip tracing. But use whatever skip tracing service you want. So if you want to pay for your skip tracing, let's say you don't have a lot of time, but you have the money for it, you just do like smszach.com. But really, truepeoplesearch.com is what I would personally recommend right now. So that's what I do. Just cold call that list, and we're going to ask these people when to call them this information. We're going to ask them we're asking 3 questions. Okay. Let's do 3. First of all, we're going to ask hey, is this Zach Ginn? They're going to say yes. Ask them if they are the owner of 123 whatever the property address is. So, hey, are you the owner of 123 Main Street? You don't have to ask if this is Zach Ginn. Are you the owner of 123 Main Street? Because if they are, then there's Zach Ginn. And they say yes. Well, great. I just had a quick question for you. Are you interested in selling your property there at 123 Main Street? Now, if they say they're not, hey, no worries. Sorry, John. Have a great day. Sorry, Sally. Have a great day. The next thing we're going to do is that they say yes. A lot rare for them to say yes, but plenty of people are going to say yes. What we're going to do here is we're going to ask them the 4 pillars of a motivated seller to see if they're a good deal or not. We're going to ask them 4 questions. And that's all we really got to do when we're talking to sellers. First of all, we want to know what their motivation is. Why are they looking to sell the property? Next here is we're going to find the condition. What's the condition of the property? Does it need a lot of repairs? Is it in disarray? What kind of updating does it need? When was the roof last replaced? How's the AC? All this stuff we got to know. The time frame. When are they looking to sell the property? Are they looking to sell within a month? Are they looking to sell within 30 days, 15 days, tomorrow? 6 months, 12 months, very important for us to know. And lastly, what price they want to sell the property for. Obviously, when we're doing our acquisitions process, we can break it down a little better. But really, when it comes to the price, we get a rough estimate and then we negotiate them down from there. Also, that's what we're going to do. We're going to meet them at the property. We're going to talk to them. We're going to go to www.flipwithrick.com/contract. So it's on the bottom ticker thingy here. So basically all you got to do is go to www.flipwithrick.com/contract. That's where I'm going to give you the free wholesaling contract and the free assignment of contracts. So they're both free. And what you're going to do from there is you're going to use that contract to go talk to that motivated seller and have them sign the contract. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to Facebook and we're going to search people who are looking to buy properties in that market. Let's say I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, go to the Knoxville, Tennessee real estate market, find people who are looking to buy properties for cash on there. Very simple and easy to do. Search Facebook cash buyers space Zach Ginn or Facebook cash buyers space Flip with Rick. We'll do a better explanation on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to sign that contract for a profit. Usually we got to bring that cash buyer through the property. They have to actually look inside of it, agree to it, and go from there. And then boom, well, it can assign it for a profit. We're all doing this through a title company who is going to facilitate the transaction. Once I get the contract done, I send that contract over to the title company. Once I get the assignment, I send that over to the title company and they'll give me the funds. They'll disperse it for me. So that's actually how we find the contract on there. And then that's as simple as it's going to be from there. Next here is, once we do that, what's another way I can find a motivated seller? I would cold call for sale by owners or find for sale by owners. Zillow for sale by owners is one of the best ways to cold call. Do what I said there. Search FSBO cold call space flip with Rick or space Fizbo space Zach Ginn. There's about 3 videos of me cold calling for 2+ hours. I usually find real motivated sellers and I got actual real wholesaling deals from it. Really cool to look at there. It's pretty easy to do. So that's it, guys. That is how I get started in real estate wholesaling. I would start driving for dollars. I would dedicate time to be doing that. And I would drive for dollars and cold call as much as possible to get my first real estate wholesaling deal. That's as simple as it should be. So let's see if I got any questions here and see what I can do. So we got Tony says, what's up? What's up? Hey, Zach, Godspeed. What's up? What is up? Let's do it. Let's do it. Smash that like button. Thank you so much. Everyone's looking forward to this. That's great. Let's see. Hey, any advice on wholesale house on nails? Search MLS space flip with Rick. I should have a video on there. Pretty simple and easy to do. Jose says, shout out from Cali. Zach, keep doing your thing, bro. Thank you. Is dual agency legal in California? Let me look it up. I think it is. The states that are illegal for dual agency are let's see. It says here that dual agency is illegal in Alaska, Colorado, Florida, Kansas, Maryland, Oklahoma, Texas, and Vermont. So I'm pretty sure California is good. Just want to confirm that with our lawyers watching, but to the best of my knowledge, that's it. Zach, are you doing calls? Yes. If you go to Wholesaling Houses for Real, let me put it on the bottom for you guys, a little ticker there. That's where I do the mastermind and all the calls. It's free. At the end of these things, there's always like a pitch or something to buy something. I just say go to my Facebook group. What's up? What's up? Zach is 100%. Thank you so much. Question about the acquisition side. When I finally put a house under contract and add the due diligence clause, what do I do next? How do I do due diligence? You just make sure the property is good enough for you. If you don't want to close on it, you don't have to close on it after in the inspection period, and you should be good. There's no dual diligence. I mean, you still do it. You still look at the property, think it's good, walk through it, take pictures of the house, but that's probably what I do. Belinda says, Zach, you're 100%. Will this video be in your YouTube channel? Of course it is. You're watching this from the YouTube channel. I got the little YouTube icon on there. Is Texas a good state to start doing it? Yes, Texas is an amazing state for wholesaling real estate. Chris says, hey, Zach, when are you selling the property to a cash buyer? Do you put a list price you are shooting for, or do you just list the property to your cash buyers and see what they offer you? I like to see what they're going to offer me. Sometimes I don't know. So that's a tough process. But overall, I give them a really high price and then negotiate it down. Also, what's your opinion on using realtors for dispo and paying buyer's commission? I do that, but they don't work for me. But I will do that. The traditional method of getting a deal 40, 60 cents on the dollar is the solution for all sellers. Subdivisions can be effective if done correctly. Yes, correct, Kevin. What's your mastermind in this Facebook group called? It's called facebook.com/group/wholesaling houses for real. What if you are in the area with no rentals or fix and flips? What do you base comps on? Cash flow. Call it cash flow comps. So if I can figure out the property's renting for $1,000 per month at most, I divide that by 1%. So $1,000 divided by 1% is equal to $100,000. Does your contract need an addendum stating you can file the memorandum? No. Is there a VA that's already trained for cold calling? A lot of them Upwork are, yes. Samuel's got a great question here. What are your views on Deal Machine? That's a really good one. I personally like Deal Machine. I'm not going to use Deal Machine because I already have listrei.com, listrei.com, and that I already pay for it. And there's such nominal differences. I think Deal Machine's slightly better. Don't sue me, guys, but Deal Machine's a little better, but for the difference on the price, it's not worth it. And PropStream is a really good one, aka listrei.com. has a really, really good drawing for dollars feature on there. Prevailing says, so you don't need a degree for this. No, I have a bachelor's degree. I don't need it. It's stupid. I got a full ride and I was able to do it online. So that's how I did it. I was wholesaling since I was 17 and I got a bachelor's degree when I was like basically 20, right when I turned 20. But I was just doing that on the side, like anything. I was working 60, 70 hours a week and just putting like 10 hours a week in the actual schooling just because I wanted to have a bachelor's degree. I don't know why. But that was just something I wanted to do. It's like learning a language or doing hobbies. I didn't watch Netflix. I didn't do any of this stuff when doing both. So you don't need a degree at all. No. Seal says, question about the acquisition side. When I finally put a house under contract and add the due, all right, we already answered that. Marissa says, I am a California agent. I've been doing a dual agency deal. Sweet. Richard R. Notice says, hey, Zach, thank you for all the amazing content. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you, Richard. How many calls does it take to lock up a deal, and what does each call sound and feel like? That's a great question there. So depends. If we're drawing for dollars, about 300 to 400, I would say calls to get a deal. And let's say 500 because people are going to answer the phones, right? So I would say that's as much leads as it takes for drawing for dollars. Each call is like, hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Yes, this is Richard. That's what you're going to say. Hey, Richard, are you interested in selling that property? Oh, go into the motivation, condition, time frame, price. Set an appointment. See if they actually want to go meet you at the property. Put the property under contract. Boom. Find a cash buyer, sell for a profit, repeat. Santrell says, awesome info, Zach. Love your channel. We are learning to use PropStream for mobile home leads. What are your best filters to use? For mobile homes, PropStream is probably one of the best ones out there for it. I'd like them owning the mobile home for at least 3 years or having enough equity on the house. Make sure it's on the market, obviously, but the filter, I want to make sure they own the land under the mobile home. Those are the best case scenario. That's probably what I'd personally recommend. Marissa says, what is your usual due diligence time? About 30 to 45 days. Rick says 30 days. I prefer 45 days. But yeah, 45 days is pretty comfortable for me. Samuel has a great question here. Do bandit signs work? I started out doing bandit signs in real estate wholesaling. So bandit signs do have a special place in my heart. I absolutely love bandit signs. But what I would say right now with bandit signs is most markets don't work. That's the honest truth about bandit signs. I wish they did. My market doesn't work anymore. It's kind of older, but it might still work in your market. Hey, Zach, will your contracts work here in Texas? Yes. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but yes. Most likely, yes. Wink, wink. More info on finding ARV. Search ARV space flip with Rick on YouTube or ARV space Zach Ginn on YouTube. Seal says, does my due diligence period with the seller add on to the cash buyer's 76-day period? Read whatever contract you're using. Sometimes it adds on, sometimes it doesn't. Fam YT says, how do I send the contract digitally? I prefer DocuSign. I use Dotloop just because I deal with realtors all the time, leasing, commercial stuff like that. But DocuSign is probably the best one. I heard Adobe does it for free too. I've never used it, but that's what I've heard around town. D. Epson says, also Fam YT, thanks for the question there. Hi, Zach. May you please share any advice on dealing with cash buyers in the order of how the process should flow? So it's a great one. The process should flow where you already have cash buyers. Sometimes you win it. You got to go. It's hard to explain. So sometimes you have the cash buyer and sometimes you don't. It's really dependent on the situation. But overall, if you do have cash buyers, what you need to do is call your cash buyers, text them. You should have, honestly, 15 really good cash buyers or 20, 25. Cold call them all and see if they're looking to be in that market. Obviously, when you call your cash buyers, they have to fit your criteria. They have to already be in your criteria already. If they're not, then it's not good. It's not what you want to do. So make sure your cash buyers are looking to actually bind that criteria. let's do an example I'm doing right now. I'm wholesaling a house here in Vero Beach. I already talked to the cash buyer. Said, hey, are you looking to buy in XY city? They said, of course, yes. It's within their price range. I already know that. I have cash buyers that are not going to buy anything north of Palm Beach County. And I know people that wouldn't even touch Palm Beach County. So it really depends on what county, what criteria they have. And then I'll call these people and see if they want to buy it. Obviously, give them the price. They'll get back to me. They look at the pictures. I already send them pictures with a really high price usually. I'll get 3 or 4 people say, I want to buy it. I bring them to the property, see how serious they are. And they look to the property, do the walkthrough. I walk as many people as I can, usually nothing more than 3 or 2. And then once I have agreements on both people, usually bid it up. And then they'll get a $5,000 non-refundable deposit at my title company. And then boom, we'll go close it. Simple as that. Also, the process with cash buyers is I'll call the cash buyer once a week and call the motivated seller twice a week just to make sure the process is going really smoothly in there. Oops. Marissa says, do you double close after a certain amount or use assignments? Great question here, Marissa. I double close on properties with assignments over $50,000. We'll consider it over 35. If it's a shaky seller, then over 30,000, we will do a double closing. If it's under $30,000, we will not. Okay, the land is on there, Santrell. I'm definitely saying your name wrong. I'm really sorry. But I would make sure there's enough equity and they own it for some time. Michael says, what service do you use for phone number other than your personal cell? Google Voice. Shockingly enough, Google Voice is actually a really good service. I love Google Voice. I don't know why. It's a really good service. So I'd recommend Google Voice. Why doesn't the realtor thing work well with you? Because I wholesale a lot of my properties and I can just find the cash buyers myself and not pay a fee. No, you do not, Josiah. You do not need a license to wholesale in California. GFFFF says, can I get my first wholesaling deal without using CRMs? Of course you can. A CRM is basically something like a Podio, or even use Excel for it. What I would probably recommend for you, though, is search Podio space Flip with Rick. That's probably the best tutorial I can give, and it's absolutely for free. It shows you how to set up like a $500 Podio thing absolutely for free. It's an hour. Take some time to get going on that one, but it's a really good one. Definitely something I would recommend. But yeah, you don't do it with a CRM. I got my first deal without a CRM. Actually, I want to look this up. I've done this so many times. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. I thought it was manager for some reason. Management. Not bad. Richard says, if you're virtual wholesaling and you have a property under contract, who do you get to put a lockbox on the property and escort cash buyers? I have someone who we call like a boots on the ground. Some other people call them like runners. These are people you find usually on Craigslist or Facebook. I go to the for hire or the people looking for jobs in your county. So there's a St. Lucie jobs posting one where I'll find someone for $50 to take their smartphone, their iPhone, take pictures of the property, take about 50 pictures of the property. Then for like 25, $30, they'll drive to the house and put a lock, usually 50 because they got to buy a lockbox, but for $50, they'll go back out there and put a lockbox on the property, and then $30 each, they'll walk through someone through the property. Elizabeth Thomas says here, I was thinking of starting a small text blast of 200. Will text magic be okay to start with? I've never used text magic, but I've heard decent things about it, so probably. Kevin Sanchez, what's up, man? Why 30 to 45 days of due diligence isn't 10 to 12 enough? It depends. It just depends how long your seller wants on the property. It just depends. I go to www.flipwithrick.com/contract. So all you really got to do is, let me get the bottom thingy here. See on the bottom here, Jabari, www.flipwithrick.com/contract. That's what I'd recommend. Jamie asks a great question here. How do you explain your process to the seller when you're locking up the deal? I explain to the seller that, hey, I'm looking to buy this property for all cash. Are you looking to sell it for cash? I make it extremely simple and easy. I don't make it super complicated. I'm looking to buy it all cash. Like if you want to sign an agreement, we'll get an agreement going. If you don't, hey, we don't. I like to make it simple. I don't like to talk over people, especially when it comes to something I know very well. And people know when you're trying to talk over them. Ever talk to a lawyer? Oh my gosh, or a realtor? They'll talk over you like they know everything. Like they know so much more about you than anything. It's kind of annoying. So I think it's annoying if I explain to a seller that I just know so much more than them. I make it very simple and easy because I'm trying to connect with them. And obviously, I'm just trying to be a personal person. I just be an actual legitimate human being, have good customer service skills. I'm not going to talk over someone. So that's what I'd probably say. Fam, YT says, I have 2 condos each for 100K. Under contract, they rent for $13.50 each with the potential for 15. Do you know what the ROI is for condos in New York? No, I don't know the cap rate. You got to tell me the city, though. Are we talking Brooklyn? Or are we talking Albany? Huge difference. Let's see here. What is the best way for a beginner to contract a strong buyer's list? Let's see. The best way for someone to develop a strong cash buyers list is just scrape through Facebook. It's a wealth of cash buyers information. Go to listrei.com, listrei.com. If you have some money or you want a free trial to it, it's on the bottom here. You can actually pull cash sales in your area. Once you pull the cash sales in your area, you can go out there and cold call those cash sales and do the same thing like you're calling someone who's a motivated seller. See if they're looking to sell the property for all cash. Once they do, boom, you can sell it. It's pretty good. So that'd be my personal recommendation on it is you just want to see if they want to buy the property for cash. Again, if they are on the cash buyers listing there, they've bought properties all cash. So most likely they're looking to buy it more and they'll be on your cash buyers list. So pretty much perfect. D. Epson, thanks, Zach. I appreciate you. D, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Let's see. SEOLE, Seoul. Top 5 ways to find cash buyers. And when I want and execute a contract before due diligence ends, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. You usually don't have to wait. So you should be fine there. So top 5. All right. You ready for it? Okay. Number 5 is auctions. I love auctions. Auctions are absolutely amazing. They're a great way to find cash buyers. Go to your local real estate auctions. Plenty of cash buyers there. 4 is realtors. Go contact realtors out there. They're amazing. And again, you'll have to pay them a commission for it, but they'll find buyers really easy. Number 3 is through networking. Go to your local real estate investors association. Networking is absolutely amazing. Title companies are a great way to find them too, but you'll either through a Facebook group or usually in person. They have real estate investor associations called RIAs, Real Estate Investors Associations. That's number 3. Number 2 here is PropStream, aka listrei.com. Pull all the cash sales in the area. Then from there, call them, see if they're looking to buy any more properties for cash. Number 1 is Facebook still. Facebook groups, still one of the best ones out there. Boom. Marissa says, do you advise LLC? They are expensive in Cali, and any ideas of states to use? I would say get your first deal or 2 in California and then do it. I know it's like $800, sometimes $1,000 to get a corporation going in California. So what I would say here is just, my personal recommendation I would say is get your first 2 deals and then incorporate in California. It'd be worth it after a couple deals. Al Entrepreneur says, how many people are in your operation? What KPIs do you track? So we have VAs, acquisitions manager, and then me and Rick, and then usually someone transaction coordinating or dispo. So it's pretty simple. KPIs I track are the cold calling, the SMS outbound, the postcards we send out. Actually, the postcard calls we get back, the response rates we get, the cold calling response rates, our deals to our contracts. Okay. Contracts it takes to actually like end a deal, like get a deal sold. So maybe I'll have 2 contracts. Maybe I'll get 50 contracts and 48 actually go through. I want to know what that is. I also want to know how many appointments I have to get going until I get a deal. How many cold calls I have to do, text blasts, postcards. Basically, my ROI is for my marketing dollars also. MJJ Smooth Criminal says, so when it comes to tax time, do you use a 1099 form even if you don't have an LLC yet? If you don't have an LLC, you don't need a 1099. You might get a 1099 from the title company, but you should be fine. Okay. Let's see here. Josiah says, can I truly make 6 figs less than 6 months with no experience? What are the chances? Plus, I'm on ed, so I don't have a lot of free time. Okay. Yeah, you can easily do it. You just got to put the work in. You'll do it. Let me know what market you're in. See if I can help you. From a cost standpoint, just starting with a limited budget, I currently have Deal Machine and not PropStream. Is it more feasible to get PropStream using to drop Deal Machine? If you don't use PropStream, don't do it. Unless you're actually using PropStream on a daily basis, I probably wouldn't recommend switching over. Thanks, Morris. I have an LLC. Do I use it to my benefit? Put the property owner contract under your LLC. So you'd put like Richard R. Notice for RN cash buyers or something like that. That's how I do it. Middletown, New York. Middletown, New York is, oh shoot, that's Orange County. If you're in the Hudson Valley, you're probably looking at probably 6 to 8% cap rate, I would say. So that's probably the net that they're looking for. Let me just see. Let me just confirm it. Let me just look. I'll let that load up. But I just want to confirm it. Yeah. I'd probably say 6 to 8% cap rate. It's a tough one, Angelica, but easily you could still do it if you find the right market. So yes, I'd recommend it still. MJJ Smooth Criminal says, when virtual wholesaling doesn't work when your buyer wants to view the property, but you're in another state. Find a boots on the ground runner, like I said before, and go find them and have someone walk to the property. Thank you so much for sharing this info. No problem, no problem, no problem. Zach, great name. What do you recommend for those just starting out? What steps do I need to take when watching all your videos and taking notes currently? Watch from the beginning of this video. I recommend drawing for dollars and then cold calling that list. Yes, another great live, Zach. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, D-Lynn. Double closing is legal in Oklahoma. Don't worry. Again, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but you should be good. Someone wants me to comp it. I don't have time to comp today, but give me that one earlier. I'll comp it maybe tomorrow. How many days should you put on for inspection period for a virtual deal? 30 to 45 days. Due diligence, you can put an extra 34 to 45. It really depends on what contract you have. Thank you. Ways to move in Illinois. Double closings. Probably my biggest recommendation. Yeah, double closings, I would say. You're doing amazing things. Thank you. Michael, thank you. So how do you assess fire damage property, especially in the properties chart? Chris, how do you access land value if it's very populated? Land value, I'll just do reverse drawing for dollars. I mean, reverse engineering. It's basically when you find how much the cash buyer is willing to pay. So you let them give you a price versus the other way around. That's probably what I do. You usually go off of land value though when you're doing that, Zach, with a charred property or crisp. Is wholesaling easier in a down market? No, it's actually harder. Yeah, it's sometimes harder because the cash buyers are a lot harder to find. Cash buyers easy now. Everyone's top dollar now, but once you get a property under contract, they're easy to sell. In down market, it's the opposite, where everybody, like everyone wants top dollar, but in the other market, everyone wants to sell it for cheap, but the cash buyers, no one wants to buy. So that's the issue. So thank you for your info. Love how you simplify, Marissa. Thank you. So that's it, guys. This is Zach Ginn. Get started wholesaling real estate, guys. This is the whole complete process. Hopefully I explained it as simple and as informative as possible. That is my goal here today. But truly, I'm trying to help you guys out in your real estate wholesaling operation. My goal is to help you make over $100,000 per year in real estate wholesaling without paying any guru or any courses out there. Do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe. Go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Wholesaling Houses for Real on Facebook. Join the Facebook group. I go live every Thursday and do free like one-on-one video chats with you guys. That's it, guys. So I appreciate it. I'm not trying to sell anything. No gurus. Don't buy any